Welcome or welcome back to It Is Not Too Late. I have just been kind of going over my budget for August, looking at the possible HELOC, looking at the balance transfer to Discover. And so I thought, well, why am I not recording this? So I want to go and show you all how I am setting up my budget. If you are looking at doing your budget, I invite you to grab a piece of paper and a pen and a calculator if you like, and let's get started. So I'm going to start over here. I'm going to start with my bills. And this is really going to be different for everyone. Sorry, my pen is not going very good. Okay. All right. So some of these, you know, will all have the same, and a lot of these are going to be very, very different. So you need to do your budget based on what is going on with you and your family, your bills, your numbers. So I'm just kind of going to show the process, and then you can do that with your own numbers and start that way. So number one for me is my mortgage. Most of us have either rent or mortgage, so that is pretty consistent. Next thing, I'm going to try to do kind of things that most people have to start with. So number two is internet. Number three, I have a water bill. If you rent, you might get that included. Congratulations. Next is my power bill. Next is my garbage. And phone. Okay, so some people might have gas or propane. You know, some people may have some or many of these things included in their rent. So just put down what you have that is yours, and then we'll talk about the amounts here in a minute, but we're just going to start here. So next thing I am going to put down for me are my credit cards. So I have a Home Depot. I have a Capital One. I have another Capital One that I call Capital Two. I have a Bank of America. I have an Amazon. And and I now have a Discover. Okay, so I'm just looking through to see if I'm missing anything. Okay. The next thing I have is gas for my car. And then finally food. Now obviously, if I really didn't have any money, I could give up my internet. I could give up my phone. I could, you know, only do minimum payments on my credit cards. There are things that I could do if I absolutely had to. But I'm not quite there yet. Okay. So hopefully your mortgage or rent is a consistent number. So mine, and this is, I do kind of round up to the nearest $50. So I do $12.50. My internet is high because I have satellite internet because of where we live. That's the only internet that's available. My water bill runs between $55 and $60. So what you can do is, you know, take a few months average, look back through your bills through the last several months and do that. But if you have some bills that change based on the season, then you want to, you know, for example, if you know you use more water in the summer because you have a garden or something along those lines and you use more, then you want to go back 12 months and then, you know, look around that season for kind of your average for those months. And then what I like to do is add 10%. And the reason for that is just if there's any rate increases, hopefully you're covered, but at least you're closer to the actual number. So your water, your power, if you have gas, if you have propane, things like that, get that average and then either round up a little bit or add 10% if you're in an area where they frequently do increases. And just so you know, they are supposed to put in your bill if there is a rate increase coming. You should also be able to look at your state utility commission. I live in Washington State, so in Washington State it's Utility and Transportation Commission that approves those rate increases. So you can go on that website and see if your particular utility company has applied for a rate increase. So for me, for power, I am at $150 a month. I do have a heat pump So we are running AC through the heat pump. It does get a bit higher in the winter, but I think we're okay. My garbage is $30. My phone is about $70. Okay, and now I'm going to get into my credit cards. So my Home Depot, I just made a payment, so I am at $305 balance, and I have 4 months to pay that with 0 interest. So $76.25. So I'm just gonna put $80. That way, if there is anything on that has a little bit of interest, just any little thing, you know, maybe there's a month where I am really short on funds and I can't do the $80 and I can only do, you know, 70. It happens. All right, Capital One is 200. My Capital Two, I did a balance transfer of $5,000 over to my Discover. So there is a small balance on this. And I am looking to pay that off in full. I am waiting for my HELOC to go through. So, yeah. Okay. So I am just going to put $50 for now. My Bank of America is $25. My Amazon is $150, and I do have part of this is 0 interest, and so I'm just, you know, going through those payments. My Discover, so my first Discover payment is like the 5th of August or something. It has $50 on it. It does not even have the balance transfer on it. So what I should be paying to divide up, because this is 0 interest as well, right? So what I should be doing is $300 a month, and that's for 18 months, $5,400. And that's a little bit high. I did $5,000. I did the balance transfer fee. I did accidentally use that card for once because I just got it. I put it in the wrong place, and I was shopping, you know, grocery shopping with my husband, and it was in the debit card slot, and he did not realize, and he grabbed that one and used that. So I need to pay the little bit off, but $300 a month will take care of that bill while it is 0 interest. The payments I expect are going to be, the minimum payments I'm expecting are going to be closer to like $200. Okay. Gas for my car, and I've talked about this before. I get lousy gas mileage. I also, you know, drive an hour each way to work 5 days a week. Both of our cars are paid off now. I'm not looking for a new car. So I just have to eat the gas. And depending on where gas prices are, I'm also, you know, in a really expensive state. I spend, you know, at least $400 in gas a month. So, but honestly, it's closer to $450. So I'll put $450. That's what it is. I wish it wasn't, but that's what it is. So food, I give my husband $100 because he does most of the grocery shopping, and then I take $50 for myself because I do have a grocery store right by my work. If we just need a gallon of milk or something that I can go and grab, but I need that money. So that's how that is. So let's total this up and see where we are. And then we'll get into the income. So again, you want to just write down what yours are. If you are not sure, maybe you use a lot of cash because you heard that you should, and so you don't really know how much you spend on gas or food or a lot of these items. Then what you can do is start tomorrow and just start writing down every transaction. And it's hard to look at those numbers, but that's what you need to do. Okay, so this is $31.15. Okay, so then I have a miscellaneous, and this is just a couple of, these are the last few things that if we had to, these things could go. But I do have them. So that totals, and this is between my husband and myself, that totals $87. So we'll add 87. Okay. So $32.02. And that is including, you know, higher amounts on my cards because I do round up on a lot of these. But that is what we have. Okay. So let's go with income down here. And I have my first job. I get paid every 2 weeks. I have my second job. And then usually I try to have a small rollover. Okay. So I do not count all of my hours because sometimes you know, my boss will let me leave early or something like that. which means they want me to leave early. It's not really optional. If I got a full check every, all of my hours and everything, it would be $15.30. I base my budget on $14.50 a pay period because I just know how things go. It's the same reason why I carry a rollover, because I never know from one day to the next or 1 week to the next if my boss is going to want to, here's what'll happen. They'll go and invite me to lunch, which is great. I don't mind going to lunch with them on occasion, but we'll go out for a 2-hour lunch. Well, my normal lunch is only 30 minutes, so I'm missing an hour and a half of pay so we can go out to lunch. But they're being nice, right? Okay. My second job is, it's a flat rate. It's salary. So it's $600. My rollover is not set. It is based on my my paycheck for the previous 2 weeks. I try to do around $100, but it varies. So let's total this. So 35, I'm not going to count the rollover, but just know I do try to keep something. So 3,500 minus 3,202 is 298. So this is whatever I have to save for extra for that HELOC when that goes through. That's going to, come out of here. So what I do with this is put it into this sheet, and there's a lot of these out there. A lot of people make their own and make it, maybe they need more space in one area or another. So this is going to be August 9th through September 6th. All right. So for my income, and I'm just looking at my cheat sheet, sorry. So my pay 1 and my pay 2 and my job 2 and my rollover. Okay. So we'll go 1450, 1450, 600, and I am expecting, we'll say $100 rollover. We'll try that. So We've got 3,600. Okay. So for the next part, what we're going to do is our fixed expenses. Okay? So this for me is mortgage. This is internet. This is water, power, and the reason I'm putting some spaces in there, it's which account it gets paid out of, and so I'm just trying to coordinate that a little bit. So my garbage, my phone, and let me see. Let's see, because I'm missing something here. Okay. Because I give my husband some of that food money so that he can take care of those, you know, that grocery shopping or whatever. That is an automatic transfer to him, so I want to put that in fixed. I'm also going to put my miscellaneous, and I just realized what I forgot, so I'm going to change it. Okay. My bank charges me a fee because my work does not offer direct deposit. So I am going to add that to the miscellaneous, the 87. So it's $99. I just to make it simple, I'm going to make it 100 and be done. So I've got $12.50. I've got $150. I've got $60. I've got $150, $30, $70, $100 to my husband. So let's see where we are. Okay, so $17.60. These are my fixed expenses. I know what these are every day, or every month. So the net, and I do mine under variable because, and I do 500, right? If it's less gas, that means I have some for food or other spending. I just know most of it goes to gas. I divide it up by week, so when I'm like, oh, I saved some money, it's because I do 125 a week, and then at the end of the week, whatever I have left, I go and use those for savings challenges or something like that. That's where that money is coming from, and I know I get it every week. Okay, so for my cards, I've got Home Depot. I've got Bank of America. I've got Cap 1 and Cap 2. I've got, whoops, that's an A, Amazon, and Discover. So, Home Depot, I said, was going to be 80. Bank of America is 25, and these are just minimums. Home Depot is to pay it off before the interest starts, so that is not a minimum. The minimum is like $29, so I pay quite a bit more on that one. Capital One is 200. That is a high end, and I, round up. Capital 2, most of that got transferred to Discover, so that is high, but I want to get it paid off, right? Amazon is 150. Again, that's high. I round up a little bit. And the Discover, we need to do 300. Okay, so let's see what those are. Okay, so 805. 805. Alright, so my spending, I have 500. This is where I usually put my rollover amount, but for right now, we'll just stick it here. And then we're going to come down to the bottom. We've got our income, which we're going to say is 3,600. We're going to subtract our fixed expenses, our variable expenses, our debt, and let's see where we are. Okay, 36 minus 1760 minus 500 minus 805 leaves 535. So, trying to see what the difference is here. Well, we did a rollover amount of $100. We had miscellaneous. I just want to double check everything because it seems like I'm off a smidge here. Minus 298. Okay. So we got mortgage, we got internet. I'm sure you guys see what I missed. We got water, we got power, we got Home Depot, we got Capital One, we got Capital 2, we got Bank of America, we got Amazon, we got Discover, we got gas and food between my husband and I. We got this. Well, let's see. Minus 32, 400. I'm off like $137. So maybe I made a mistake on this. So let's go back here to this one and see if I messed this up. because it's gonna drive me nuts. So $12.50 plus 150 plus 60, 30, 70, 80, 200, 50, 25, 150, 300, 450, 150, and I changed this to 100, right? So 32.15, and I did a rollover, so 385. Okay, so I must be missing something. All right, mortgage is there, internet is there, water is there, power is there, garbage is there, phone is there, Home Depot, Capital One, Capital Two, this is so frustrating, Bank of America, but this is how it is sometimes, Amazon Discover. So between my husband and the spending is 600. Okay, of course my battery died, but while that was happening, I was able to rerun numbers and I found my mistake. So, and it was over here. So we'll do it again. Okay, this should be 1910. And we'll erase it over here. We'll erase this. Okay. So, let's start over with our tally. So 3,600 minus 1910 minus 500 for the variable minus 805 for the debt and credit card leaves $385. Okay. So, and I know this is long, I'm just trying to be really thorough in case you're starting to go through this process, so you understand the, you know, the steps to take. Now, for me, I still have that HELOC potential that I need to add to debt. So, will this cover it? Yes. So, that's good. But for right now, until that HELOC goes through, I am putting that to savings challenges. It is, I guess it's just more fun, more motivating for me to, you know, do the scratchers, play the games. And I know it's going to debt. I could easily transfer it over somewhere. I don't even wait until I finish a savings challenge. I do it, you know, I combo my challenges in a single envelope, and when that envelope hits $100, I move it over. I'm not being excessive, but I need to keep on a roll here. So that's how I do it. So I should have $385. Now this does not have a rollover, so it'll probably be 300 maybe. I'm thinking 75 a week. You know, or maybe my checks will be higher and I'll have a little more. Maybe I'll, you know, gas will be down and I'll have a little more. But that's roughly what I'm looking at. So I'm going to put that over here because I do want a zero-based budget. So we'll put 385. And this will be my savings challenges. So one other good thing that I found out today is, so my daughter was recently married, and her car and her are on our car insurance, which I pay 6 months in advance. So she and her husband have are transferring. Her husband was on his parents still as well, so they have that set up. That transfer is going to go through on August 1st. So I will either have some kind of credit, or they will send me a check back for, let's see, August, September, part of October, you know, 2 and, you know, a little bit of months. It's not going to be a huge amount. But when I go to renew my car insurance in October, it's going to be about $200 to $250 less. I'll find out when I go to take her off what my new amount is going to be. And I already have that car insurance money saved up. So if I can take $200 or $250 and go and put that to my debt, that's wonderful. I'm so excited about that. I'm glad, you know, last month she got her phone off, and now she's doing her car insurance, so she's doing all the right things. With regards to, you know, affecting my budget. So very happy, very excited about that. And, you know, that means my husband and I will be saving quite a bit. Also, we get to take the my husband's car, because we paid that off. So we get to take the loan holder off of that, because I got that letter. In fact, I just got the title yesterday, so very excited about that as well. So some good things are coming. I'm hoping soon that for our business, we'll start getting some of those jobs soon. It's it doesn't really start really big until October, but I'm hoping that we're gonna get some jobs in August and, you know, really be able to start attacking you know, some of these lower credit cards. Just get those wiped out, and then, you know, be able to attack the more expensive ones. So sorry it's long. Thanks so much for sticking in there. If you have any questions, put them down below. If you want to follow along, hit like, subscribe, and I will see you next time. On Tuesday, we're doing the update on my no spend. So thanks for spending time with me and have a great day.